As much as I don't like dilution, we need to talk about how Ryan Cohen is raising the floor on GameStop. Like you, like me, we don't like dilution. It's not necessarily good for shareholders, but in the case of GameStop, Ryan Cohen does it at much better times than a CEO like Adam Aron. Now, what I mean by this is if you look at GameStop, what do you mean by Ryan Cohen's raising the floor? If you look at GameStop, we have well over the amount of shares circulating right now as we did for a very long time, over the past 2-3 years. But it's of significance because GameStop was never ever able to be pushed as low as AMC was able to be pushed. We're still trading in a decent mid-range on GameStop. Now, The Matrix is having its 25th anniversary, and it's coming back to theaters September 19th and the 22nd. I'm not going to spend a lot of time correlating this, but that is right around the corner. September 19th is Thursday this week. What is also this week? Well, FOMC, which we're going to cover very tiny bit where I think the market is going to go. We talked about it yesterday. We're going to do that at the very end, but I want to talk about GameStop and AMC. Could this correlate? Roaring Kitty has tweeted several times using clips from The Matrix, and we have seen, at least I have seen personally and brought to your attention, several different theories regarding The Matrix clips that Roaring Kitty has showed us. Now, GameStop is held down through swaps, it's held down through ETFs that hold it, it is overly shorted, multiple floats time and time again, and one thing I also want to note is the volume. Based on all those factors, look at how little volume compared to prior volume that we got on this play, yet we still ran up pretty high. GameStop got all the way up to about $65 on way less volume with way more shares circulating. This is why GameStop is more impressive to keep an eye on right now. Okay, if it's all suppressed, what do we also need? We would like to see gamma. We would like to see market makers forcefully purchasing shares of these stocks. And this week, we also have quad witching. It's a very, very important week, and that's why I'm trying to get this video out to you guys on this Sunday. I also have some sort of sinus issue going on. I have a major headache right now, but I'm making this video. Make sure to like this video if you guys haven't yet. GameStop has over 146,000 calls expiring this week with about 60,000 puts. If all of these calls end up going in the money, that'll cause a nice gamma ramp for the play. We also saw a ton of short exempt volume stack up on the 9th and the 12th for GameStop, and that is exactly why you saw that push down, especially correlated to the volume. Now, AMC is actually not looking as good, not actually even close to as good. In fact, it's the opposite. If you look at AMC's volume that we got this time around, it was extremely high compared to back here. You did not see a lot of volume. And again, this is adjusted based on the shares that there is circulating. And we have had insane volume on the push up on AMC, yet we didn't really get anywhere. We got basically nowhere on this stock. What was it? A high of $9. And the very high of this play is over $300, $340, right? So we had more volume than the previous run up and way less of a move when GameStop had less volume and not more of a move, but a pretty big move coming up to 65 when the high of it was only at 120. Okay, so the same thing for AMC. AMC should have ran to about 160 to 200, right? Now, AMC coming into the week has 1.6 million shares available to borrow on it and a huge options chain with 215,000 calls expiring in the money and only 60,000 puts. I'm sorry, not expiring in the money, but calls this week in general. If we start to scale higher and get a gamma ramp, that will look great for AMC as well. Also for AMC, AMC Theaters just partnered with DoorDash for delivery. Company expects deal to be nationwide by spring 2025, expanding current Uber Eats alliance. Also pretty good for the fundamental side of things. AMC is trying to expand. I want to cover a couple of things that could be very dangerous for the crypto market and could essentially also lead to other plays in your portfolio. First of all, Bitcoin mining will become legal in Russia on November 1st, but it currently costs $80,000 on average to mine a Bitcoin worth only $60K. Bitcoin is highly unstable. Now, it depends on the way you look at this. One thing I will say, November election, if Kamala gets elected, Bitcoin is likely to crash, as I believe she is trying to tax your unrealized gains on Bitcoin. Trump is very pro-Bitcoin. If Trump wins, Bitcoin is likely to go higher. These are just my personal opinion. Nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. And since it costs more than a Bitcoin's worth, 80K to mine a Bitcoin worth about 60K. This could also mean that Bitcoin will easily surpass 80, coming to fair value for Bitcoin mining, especially if other countries are about to make Bitcoin mining legal, right? If they think it's worth it, then they think Bitcoin could be undervalued at these levels, at these lows. Now, rumors are also circulating that Coinbase is writing Bitcoin IOUs for BlackRock and they are suppressing the price, which is very likely, and that's why you see Bitcoin trading in this sideways channel, the longest it has ever traded in a sideways channel. When what's new? Bitcoin ETFs, right? These ETFs were approved by the SEC for the first time, and now Bitcoin is all of a sudden channel trading for the longest it has ever channel traded. They need as much control as they can get. Now, what I will say is we are about to close hopefully this Sunday above the level that I called out, 59,700. I want to get a close above that. We are just about 400 above that, trading at 60,100 on Bitcoin. Okay, touching on banks really quick, the OCC just cracked down on Wells Fargo, flagging weak spots in its AML controls and risk management. This move could stall the lifting of its asset cap and put other big banks under the microscope. Are these banks worried? We have seen not a lot of great things happening with big banks, and a crackdown is happening as well with big banks, especially with the state of the market. Banks loading up on gold. There are clear signs that something big is about to happen in the financial markets. Since we're on the topic of banks, JP Morgan now owns the most derivatives at 57 trillion, with Goldman Sachs right under them at almost 56 trillion. Okay, there are 3 days until the FOMC meeting, where Powell will likely cut by 0.25 or 0.5. Similarities between 2007 and 2024 are way too wild to just disregard. I want you to take a screenshot of this and take a look at the differences. There's barely any. Does this mean there's going to be a 2007 style market crash? Maybe, maybe not. But if you take a look at this picture, at this screenshot with the data and line them up, there's almost nothing at all that tells us that the S&P 500 is not going to copy a historical pattern. Bringing us into the SPY, what I will say is there should be, I'm not saying there will, there should be slight fear coming into FOMC on the 18th, Monday and Tuesday. The SPY should come down to at least 555. If it does not and is still melting up, this is a very big warning, in my opinion, for investors. If it melts up to 574, this is a warning to investors to be very careful when the news actually comes out. If it comes down to at least 555, this, in my opinion, is better. This is obvious that it's an indicator that people are a little bit weary, and once the news comes out that they want to hear and uncertainty is out of the air, that's when the market will accept it and start moving higher. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. God bless everybody. I hope you all enjoyed your weekend. Make sure to join the Discord to come talk with me and the most amazing people, stocks and crypto all day long. We also have options trading alerts in there. I post my trades as soon as I enter them. Overall, best vibes. There are no bad questions, and I only charge a coffee a month. So sacrifice it. The education you get out of it is way better than if you did not join. That is the third link in the description of the video. I will also pin it in the top of comments. It'll take you 2 minutes to pop in and come say what's up. I'm in there on the daily, so come chit chat, guys. There is a second link in the description of the video, and it's for a free broker. You probably trade on Webull or Robinhood or Fidelity, but this one is for Moomoo. And this one is giving you a bunch of benefits if you go through my link. You go through my link and you deposit into your account after you set up an account, any amount, and you're getting up to 15 free stocks and earning 8.1% APY on your uninvested cash, which is basically the stock market return, but with zero risk. They're also giving you access to shorting as a retail trader, which you probably don't have, trading options as well, all for free, reading level 2 order book data, viewing other exchanges, getting a customizable earnings calendar, and more. So again, that is the second link in the description. And the last but not least, my custom indicator, which you can get 14 days for free, pattern detection and forecasting. It is the top link. Go add it to your TradingView charts now. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.